sea somewhere. My lover stands on golden sand and watches the ships that go sailing. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Nick930, and I have been looking forward to this for almost a decade now. After the initial release of Bioshock on PC way back in 2007, I have been longing for a fix to some of the original game's biggest problems. From the sounds cutting in and out whenever there was too much happening, to finally fixing that weird artifact in this character's crotch during the cutscene. And finally, after all these years, we're gifted this fantastic remastered version of Bioshock. And when I say gifted, I mean it was just given to us for free on Steam. Not only are both of these issues fixed, but the graphics have been given a much needed update with brighter colors, sharper textures, and even some added decorations like starfish, jellyfish, seaweed, all kinds of things. It just looks so much better now. Bioshock has never looked this good. However, this remaster isn't perfect, and there's a few minor issues I wanted to tell you guys about today. The sound cutting in and out, that may have been fixed from the original game, but there's now some new sound problems I've noticed as I was playing through the first two levels. Occasionally jukeboxes, the songs will repeat themselves for a few seconds as if the record's stuck. It'll fix itself after a few seconds, but it's still noticeable. I also noticed quite a few doors, shelves, drawers that I'm searching don't make a sound like they're supposed to when you open them. And I also noticed that when you activate things like when you start up a recording from a, what were they called, voxophone or something, it has a delay that it didn't used to have. Like before you press and hold A, it would start right up. Now there's a slight 1 to 2 second delay. Positional sound also seems to not work correctly. You'll hear splicers and enemies from very far away when you're not supposed to, and other times you'll hear them, you won't hear them at all. They'll be really close, like up the staircase from you, and you won't even know they were there and they start attacking you. So that needs to be fixed as well. But still, these problems are just minor in comparison to the original version's sound problems. I mean, I had to stop playing that game several times because it was just so bad. You would have turrets and everything shooting, and then the sound would just completely cut out entirely. You wouldn't be able to tell what was happening. So, I am very happy that that's fixed at least. The game's graphical settings menu is not nearly as involved as the original, but that's kind of to be expected as this game doesn't really need fine-tuning to run well on anybody's computer anymore. The original game had the ability to set all kinds of different settings, but that was back in 2007 where people needed to adjust these settings in order for it to work. Now, all the highest graphic settings are just enabled by default. You don't have a choice of turning them off because it doesn't make sense to turn them off. The controls appear to function just the same as they used to. I'm using an Xbox controller, so I don't know whether or not the mouse acceleration has been fixed. A lot of people complain about that for some reason. I do like how instead of having to go into gameplay settings and manually enable gamepad functionality, the game recognizes my Xbox controller right off the bat. It even shows an updated controller image of the Xbox One controller instead of the Xbox 360 controller when you're loading up the first level. And that's a nice touch. The game also features some new developer commentaries and a museum level for those of you that actually care about that kind of stuff. I, for one, am just happy I can play my favorite video game of all time the way it was meant to be played, with all the sounds working correctly and it looking its absolute best. I no longer fear activating turrets and flying drones as they no longer are going to ruin my experience. As for the game itself, it remains mostly unchanged. The levels, enemies, object placement, story, music, and sounds are all exactly where they should be. This remaster is just that. It is a remaster, and 2K giving all the Bioshock owners for free, giving it to us for free is absolutely brilliant. It's a shame that this game's remaster has such low Steam reviews already. It's starting to show that Steam reviews are really starting to become as useless as some other professional reviewers I refuse to name. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I'm planning on uploading footage of the actual game. I want to do a full walkthrough. I wanted to do it before, but the sound was so bad in the original version I just gave up. But now I can finally play through it. It's going to look great. I'm going to do 1080 and 60 frames per second so you guys can enjoy that. So I will see you all next time.